Straight ahead on 12 News, toasting a title, how Osseo will celebrate the high school's first ever Prep Bowl championship. Plus, picking the right time to fly.
We went on 8 vacations last year.
A local mom shares her travel expertise. But first, just in time for the holidays, a local shopping center completes a major parking overhaul. 12 News starts right now.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. One of Maple Grove's primary shopping destinations has just undergone a massive facelift to alleviate a frustrating problem.
The Shops at Arbor Lakes now has more than 100 new parking spaces, making it easier for shoppers to get to the stores they want. As Delane Cleveland reports, it's part of an effort to refresh their look in the challenging retail landscape.
The holiday season hasn't officially arrived, but in the world of retail, it's never too early to decorate.
We still have a little bit left to go. We've got a lot of wreaths that we're going to be incorporating.
Christmas decor is commonplace for retailers by the time Black Friday rolls around. Yet when shoppers descend upon the Shops at Arbor Lakes in the coming weeks, that's not the only change they'll notice.
Basically what we did is all the areas where we had parallel parking, we went in and we reduced the width of the sidewalk and we installed angled parking.
It's a project that began in September. In a 2-month time span, the shops added 106 parking spaces, increased visibility for drivers by getting rid of center medians, and eliminated parallel parking. So far, the reaction from shoppers has been positive.
Yeah, I really like it because I don't like to parallel park, so I never parked in here.
This is amazing. It's the best thing. I think whoever thought it up is a genius, because it is so good.
Lots of sparkles if people want to sparkle for New Year's.
Shoppers aren't the only ones pleased with the parking changes.
We're getting a lot more customers in.
Mary Krogsgaard owns the women and children's boutique Dazzle Me Fashions.
And we have jewelry and accessories.
She says the previous parking design caused challenges.
It was so few parking spaces that we didn't get as many customers because there were maybe 8 or 10 parking spaces versus what we have now.
With the construction complete, she has high hopes for what the added spaces will mean for her bottom line.
I think it's going to have a very positive effect on all of us, especially with winter coming, because they can park closer to the stores instead of having to park in a parking ramp or out in the lot.
It's a significant upgrade for the 12-year-old shopping center, and it comes just in time for the holiday shopping season.
This was very, very good and good timing.
In Maple Grove, Delane Cleveland, 12 News.
And speaking of the holiday shopping season, a new holiday spending survey released by the University of St. Thomas shows that Twin Cities shoppers will spend more than $1.1 billion this season. That's a 2% drop from last year.
A Brooklyn Center man has been identified as one of 2 people shot and killed in South Minneapolis. 39-year-old Frank Penny was shot in the torso while in a parked car early Monday morning in the 2800 block of 15th Avenue South. Penny was with a 23-year-old woman from Minneapolis who died from a gunshot wound to the head. Minneapolis police heard the shots when they responded. No arrests have been made.
A local state senator wants to know if prison sentences match the crimes committed. State Senator Ron Latz, who represents parts of Plymouth and Golden Valley, chaired a prison population task force meeting today. Despite a low crime rate, Minnesota has one of the fastest growing prison populations in the country. Senator Latz wants to know if strict prison sentencing is the best deterrent for minor drug crimes.
We're not accomplishing as much as we'd like to in terms of our criminal justice system. Certainly we're locking a lot of people up, but is it having the desired effect in the long run of reducing crime in Minnesota, in the long run of helping to rehabilitate people and make them productive members of society? Those are the important questions that we're starting to get answers to here.
There's currently not enough beds to house Minnesota's prison population, and the State Corrections Department is renting space in county jails. State lawmakers are also considering an addition to an existing state prison to address the overcrowding.
A new day treatment facility for teens is just days away from opening in Brooklyn Center. Headway Academy North is opening up in the same building as the Minnesota School of Business. The Headway Day Treatment Program is for students in grades 7 through 12 that have a primary mental health diagnosis that prevents them from being successful in a traditional education setting. The program's goal is to give students the coping skills to move back to a mainstream setting.
By having school and therapy combined, and they go to a class and then they do some therapy and then they go to a class, that ability to bounce back and forth helps them enjoy and get to understand the educational supports at the same time that they're getting the therapeutic supports.
Headway also operates a program site in Hopkins. The growing demand for this type of program resulted in the new Brooklyn Center location.
Congressman Keith Ellison is proposing legislation to help families afford the cost of diapers for their young children. Ellison says diapers are a basic health need and 1 in 3 families struggle to afford them. Disposable diapers can cost families anywhere from $30 to $80 a month, depending on a baby's age. And the congressman's bill would provide diapers or a diaper subsidy for low-income and working families. The city of Crystal was the place today for a frank and open discussion on the Vietnam War.
It's the 50th anniversary of the war this year. Reporter Sonia Goins has more.
We have 4 outstanding speakers on our panel who are going to talk about their perspective, their take on the Vietnam experience from different viewpoints.
Dozens of people packed the Crystal Community Center on Wednesday to hear different viewpoints on the Vietnam War.
I was there 49 years ago today.
Donald Fernstrom was a member of the 1st Air Cavalry Division.
And I was willing to fulfill my duty and obligation, and thank God I came back in one piece.
Fernstrom says it was only until recently he was able to talk about the war.
Because when I came back from Vietnam, and people asked me about my experiences, and I told them honestly, they looked away from me.
We dropped 7 million tons of bombs on Vietnam.
Chuck Turkish is on the opposite end of the spectrum.
And I decided that I would refuse induction. I turned in my draft card as a result of that.
He was part of the resistance movement. He wasn't protesting the soldiers, but the policies.
We thought maybe we could have some effect on shortening the war.
I left Vietnam in 1975.
Tom Trum lived through the war. He was an officer in the Vietnamese army.
You fought so gallantly for our survival and for the democracy of South Vietnam. If you were not there, I'm not here today.
The panel members couldn't agree on who won the war.
When our government gets involved in a war, we believe it must be a noble war. I don't think that was true of the Vietnam War.
We did stop the spread of communism.
But everyone says it's important to remember our past.
Many things that happened during the Vietnam War still have impact on how we go about our lives today.
And unless we tell our stories, and those stories are passed on to the next generation, we're not going to learn from the mistakes of our past.
In Crystal, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
There were more than 58,000 U.S. military casualties during the Vietnam War. Today's discussion was hosted by Beyond the Yellow Ribbon Quad Cities, which includes Golden Valley, New Hope, Crystal, and Robbinsdale. There's an overnight highway closure to warn you about. This one affects Highway 100. The highway will be closed Thursday and Friday starting at 10 o'clock each night and reopen by 5 o'clock the next morning. The closure is between 36th Avenue and Highway 55. It's necessary to allow XL Energy to replace overhead power lines. Well, to the victors go the spoils, and now even more fun.
Yeah, to celebrate Osseo's first ever football state championship, the city will hold a parade. The Osseo Oriole Pep Band and the football team will roll through downtown Osseo, led by a police and fire escort. The parade will start at Osseo High School and end at Boorboom Park. The parade starts at 12:15, followed by a rally at the park. That'll be a big day.
Yes.
Coming up, the best way to get travel deals. A local mom shares her flying secrets.
And then a little bit later in sports, the girls' hockey season is in full swing. We'll have highlights from 3 close battles.
But first, cold and getting colder. Thursday, highs only in the 30s. The holiday season may be upon us, but many people already have eyes on winter and even spring travel.
Booking travel in advance is the best piece of advice if you want the best deal. But what else should you do to score the best price on airline tickets? Reporter Shannon Slatton takes a look in today's Money Savers.
A look through Alicia Harrison's travel photos is enough to make anyone jealous.
We went to the Bahamas, we went to Florida, we went to Las Vegas twice, we went to Seattle, We went to Dallas, I went to Michigan.
She took her family on 8, that's right, 8 vacations last year.
I've been on a plane with several other people, with people sitting next to me in the same seat that paid 3 or 4 times more than I paid for my ticket. And they're like, how do you do that? I'm like, I never pay full price or anything. I'm always looking for a good deal.
Alicia works from home and her kids are not yet in school.
We really plan our vacation around when's the cheapest time to fly.
So she can pick up and go when she finds a good deal.
I'm able to get pretty good deals.
Planning a trip around a low price on airfare and not a specific date is a good place to start.
If you're flexible, that's the best piece of advice.
At AAA, Linda Snyder says travel flexibility and flying in and out midweek can help keep the price tag low.
There's the mentality of many people to wait for a deal, and there's not deals anymore.
Snyder says check low-cost carriers like Sun Country or Southwest. If you want to book on a third-party site, beware of the fine print and watch for hidden fees.
It will come up with the lowest price first, and that might be a flight that leaves Wednesday and you don't get there till Thursday.
Benefits of booking directly through an airline include using frequent flyer miles and the chance the airline will refund part of your ticket price if prices go down.
If I see a good deal, I buy it, and then I keep an eye on those prices as they're changing. And if I find a better deal, then I'm able to return my ticket or change it to a better flight where I get money back.
Alicia also has 2 other rules she lives by when booking airfare. She never travels around holidays, and then
I never go anywhere cold.
For Money Savers, Shannon Slatton, 12 News.
Smart lady. One hot deal to tell you about as far as air travel is on Sun Country right now. The low-cost carrier is offering a 50% off sale on airline tickets for December 1st through December 17th. Have to have that flexibility. That's key.
And don't go anywhere cold.
No, and don't go cold. That's right. Still ahead, a celebration of art in Plymouth.
But first in sports, Maple Grove and Centennial need overtime to decide their girls' hockey battle. John Jacobson has that and more when we come back. We start with girls hockey and a game that went into overtime to decide.
And for a local team, nice to get that first win of the season, too. Maple Grove started the season ranked in the top 10 in girls hockey. The Crimson had a loss and a tie in their first 2 games and look to break into the win column against Centennial Tuesday night at Maple Grove Community Center. Aaron Roll leads the rush. Sydney Hansen follows up with a quick, accurate shot. And that gives Coach Amber Hageland's Crimson team a 1-0 lead after 1 period of play. Centennial gets a power play in the second. Goalie Brianna Plessy saves the first 2 shots, but Claire Riley knocks the third try in to even the score at 1-1. 3.5 minutes later, Gabby Hughes comes out of the corner and whistles a shot under the crossbar and in. Despite being outplayed for much of the second period, the Cougars take a 2-1 lead. In the third, Haley Herdine sends a long pass ahead to Taylor Wente, gets control and scores on the rush to tie the game up at 2-2. Despite some good chances late, it stays that way through regulation. In overtime, Wente strikes again, taking the pass on a 2-on-1 and firing a shot home for the game-winning goal as Maple Grove skates to a 3-2 victory.
I think the first period we started out really well, and after they score, I thought we regrouped really well as a team and brought it together, and we never gave up, so it was really fun.
After 2 one-goal losses to start the season, the Champlin Park girls hockey team hoped their luck would change in their third game as they traveled to Rogers to take on the Royals. First period, and Rogers' Courtney Johnston skates in front of the Rebels' net. Her shot rolls up and over goalie Natalie Burgoyne, and then Peyton Levis there knocks it in. It's 1-0 Rogers. Final seconds of the first period, Rebels' Emily Schwartz whistles a shot over goalie Ellie Anderson's shoulder and in. It's 1-1 through a period at Rogers. Second period, and Kaylee Wood wins the race to the loose puck in the Royal zone. Deeks the defender and the goalie to score. Nice goal for Wood, and the Rebels lead 2-1. Later, it's Jordan Trapp passing along the boards. Is Schwartz to Trapp back in front. Her shot stops. Schwartz scores on the rebound. The Rebels lead 3-2. Third period now tied at 3. Johnston with a burst of speed for Rogers gets a 2-on-1. The pass to Levis for the goal. And the Royals have the lead at 4-3. And shortly after that one, Levis adds another To complete her hat trick, Rogers nets 3 third-period goals to beat Champlin Park 5-3. The Royals are now 2-1 on the season. The Armstrong-Cooper girls hockey team lost its first game of the season, but won the next 3. The Wings hosted a solid Anoka team Tuesday night in New Hope. Paige Kopka is strong in net for Armstrong-Cooper. She denies Lauren Brown in close here, and it stays 0-0 in the second period. Kenzie Malone breaks a deadlock in style. On the rush, she shoots, but as she's falling, scores, and Armstrong-Cooper takes a 1-0 lead. Kopka protects that lead. She'll stop a blast here from the point, leaving no rebound for the Tornadoes. But in the third period, the pass comes to Taylor Kinn. She's stopped, but Jaden Blomker scores from the rebound. And the game is tied at 1-1, and we go to overtime. In OT, Kinn dives to keep the puck in the zone and then gets back up, takes a pass, and buries a game winner here. Tornadoes beat Armstrong-Cooper by a final score of 2-1. The State Girls Swimming and Diving Championships are underway in Minneapolis. Diving prelims are today, Wednesday, with the swimming preliminaries set for Thursday, and then all finals are scheduled for Friday. Wayzata is the defending state champions, 2-time defending state champions, in fact, in Class AA, and they won the Section 5 AA meet just last weekend. The swimming and diving finals in Class AA get underway at 6 p.m. Friday night at the University of Minnesota Aquatic Center. Class A finals begin at noon Friday at the U of M. Breck finished 4th in Class A year ago. And that's what gets sports for today.
All right, thanks, John. Up next, a preview of this weekend's Plymouth Arts Fair.
We'll be right back. Well, finally, you may want to jot this down on your weekend activities calendar.
Preparations are underway at the Plymouth Creek Center for the annual Plymouth Arts Fair. There will be everything from painting to pottery and photography to paper cuts and collages.
We'll have over 30 artists at the event showcasing their artwork from all around the state of Minnesota, as well as musical entertainment throughout the event, and we'll have a children's activity on Saturday.
Entertainment will be provided by the Plymouth Concert Band and local group Greenwood Tree. The art fair runs from 10 to 5 on Saturday and 11 to 4 on Sunday. The event is free and parking is available at the Plymouth Creek Center. Good thing to do, especially if it's a little colder, right? Head indoors.
Indoors,
That's
a
right.
lot of really good art, and a lot of people will be there, I'm sure.
Absolutely. That does it for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
And we'll see you back here again tomorrow.